Hi and welcome guys, Castle Queenside here, and today I have another special game I want to share with you. This one was played between Mikhail Tal, who was playing with white pieces, and Jack Miller, who was playing with black pieces. This was a simultaneous exhibition match and it was played in 1988. And this game is truly amazing because, as you all know, when Mikhail Tal plays a game, you know it's gonna be special. And also this game was fun up until the very end of the game because it contains a lot of counterattacks and a counterattacks by black. So a truly amazing game, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. So without further ado, we will go straight into the game. So the game started with e4, e5 for the black, knight f3 for Mikhail Tal, and knight c6 for Jack Miller. The game continued with bishop c4 for white, and knight f6 for black. This is Italian game, two knights defense. The game continued with d4, and black decided to respond with d6. The game continued with d takes on e5, and right now at this position black decided to play knight takes on e4, which is a risky move because immediately Tal created an attack. First, bishop takes on f7 check, a good move. King takes on f7, and white played queen d5 right now, checking the black king and also attacking this knight. Black continued with bishop e6, a normal move in this position, and white retakes his piece. The game continued with bishop e7. The idea for black is to remove his king and create an artificial castle here. So white played castle, black continued with d5, right now attacking the white queen, so the queen went on d3, and black played queen d7. The idea is to connect these two rooks and slowly but surely prepare rook f8 and move the king to safety. Game continued with rook e1, trying to protect this pawn, and black played rook a to f8. The idea is the same, you want to take this open file and you want to move the king to safety, and white played knight c3, a normal developing move because you want to put the rest of your pieces into the game. The game continued with king e8, opening the f-file and putting the king to safety, and right now immediately white decided to attack and he played knight g5. Knight g5 with the idea to take this white squared bishop and to remove a bishop pair from the black. At this point of the game, black decided to play bishop c5, which is a good move because right now you're preparing a counterattack on the f2 field because this pawn is hanging. So the game continued with knight takes on e6, white takes this piece, and black responds with bishop takes on f2 check. Right now this rook is hanging, the king has to move, and white plays king h1. The game continued with bishop takes on e1, and white decided to take black rook as well. And rook takes on f8. Right now rook f1 is a checkmate threat, so white has to be careful. That is the reason why white played bishop g5. Bishop g5 with the idea to block this diagonal and also attack this dark squared bishop of black. So the game continued with knight b4. Right now black is creating some counterattack and he attacks this pawn and he attacks the queen as well. White has to be careful because this field is weak, so he plays queen e2, and black continues with the attack. He played knight takes on c2. Obviously you cannot take the knight because rook f1 is a checkmate for black, so white decided to counterattack in this position and he played e6 first. He attacks the black queen and now this queen has to move somewhere, and black queen decided to go on d6. Right now this is not the best move. The best move is queen c6 because right now you are preparing for another attack of white, and white saw that and he played knight b5. So this queen is hanging at the moment and black has to respond somehow. And black finds an amazing resource and an amazing counterattack, and that is queen e5. Right now again you cannot take this queen because rook f1 is a checkmate. But white also found an amazing response in this position. He played h4, completely ignoring the attack on this queen, and he wants to protect this bishop. So what will happen if black decided to take this queen immediately after h4? Let's say black decided to take this queen, the game would continue with knight c7 checkmate. So bishop, knight and a pawn checkmate. So that is why after h4 black decided to play queen g3, which is a good move because right now you're preparing rook coming on f2 and a possible checkmate on g2. So this is a good move. Right now white is still in trouble. Of course, black queen has to protect this c7 pawn as well because it's still a checkmate. So the game continued with rook d1. Right now white decided not to give this rook for free and trying to attack this pawn as well. And it is a good idea to take this d file because this king is obviously weak on this d8 field. So this was the idea for white. Now black decided to stick to his plan and he played rook f2. A really good move. You are attacking this queen and you are preparing a checkmate threat. In this position, white decided to sacrifice his queen. He plays queen takes on f2. And black decided to take this queen with his bishop. Of course, he could also take this queen with his queen, and we will see what would happen then. So instead, bishop going on f2, maybe queen can take this on f2. Then the game would continue with knight c7 check. This is not a checkmate anymore because black queen can go on f8. Then the game would continue with e7 check. And of course, going on g8 was the best option for black. Going on f7 is not a good move here because you have a e8 and a promotion of a queen, and that is a checkmate. So the best move after e7 was going on g8. Then the game would continue with e8 promotion of a queen check, queen f8, and then probably white queen would go on e5. And this is a clearly won position for white because you're a rook up and there is nothing black can do and counterattack your king. So that is the reason why bishop f2 was played, and the game continued with rook takes on d5. After rook takes on d5, there is a checkmate threat on d8, and there is nothing black can do except sacrifice his queen, which he did in the game. So the game continued with queen takes on h4 check, bishop takes on h4, bishop takes on h4, and right now white played knight takes on c7 with a check. Black king has to go on f8 as this is the only free square. The game continued with rook f5 check. Black blocked the attack with bishop f6. So the game continued with rook d5 again. And after this move, black played a5. Tal didn't want to take this pawn, of course. He continues his attack with rook d7. So the game continued with knight b4, trying to put this piece into the defense of the black position, but it is too late, of course. The game continued with rook f7 check, king g8, and right now another amazing sacrifice by Mikhail Tal. He plays rook takes on f6, and right now taking this rook is not an option, and I will show you why. In the game, knight c6 was played, and we will see what would happen if black decided to take this rook. So after rook takes on f6 and g takes on f6, white would simply play e7, and there is nothing black can do to stop the promotion of the white queen. So that is the reason why this move wasn't good. The game continued with knight c6, of course. So white played rook f7, black decided to play g6, and after e7, Miller resigned as there is nothing he can do in this position and stop the promotion of a queen. In this position, the only way you can stop the promotion of white queen is to take this pawn, but after rook takes on e7, this is a clearly won game for white because you have a huge material advantage. I also wanted to show you another fine idea that white had in this position. So after g6, instead of playing e7, maybe white could have played knight goes on d5. So right now there is a checkmate threat in two moves, whatever the black does. For example, if black plays knight goes on d8, then the game would continue with knight f6 check, king h8, and rook takes on h7 is a checkmate. So there is nothing black can do and stop this checkmate. You can see it for yourself. After knight d5, simply there is nothing you can do. You can even move to h8, let's say, immediately, but then after knight f6, you still cannot stop the checkmate threat if you go anywhere. For example, again, knight d8, rook h7 is a checkmate. So this was another fine idea that white could have played, but this wasn't played, of course. I wanted to show you because it's really interesting. And yeah, this was all for today's game, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe to my channel, as this helps me a lot. As I told you, I want to grow this channel and I want to make this channel a primary source of my income. Comments and likes really help with that, as they help recommend my videos to a lot more people and they help with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for all of your support. I really appreciate it, and we will see each other on the next video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.